Alright guys, first training session video back after Oxfordshire's Strongest Man. This is still the mess about week when I'm off program after the competition. So we have already set a new bench press PR in my first session back the other day, which went really well. That will be on screen now as I'm talking. And then that was just more of a gym bro session, get some blood flowing and that sort of thing. See where my bench is at, because obviously as a strongman, you don't get to max bench all that often. And in today's session, we are going to be doing a sort of back and shoulders and sort of just like everything session again. But the main thing we're going to work on today is we're going to see where we're at on the 12-inch axle deadlift. So if you saw my last video, I went through my next competition and what I've got coming up. It's the Haynes Farm Open. And in that competition, we have a maximum deadlift, but it is an axle deadlift on these big, massive wheels that Paddy has that makes the deadlift pull from a 12-inch height. So a standard deadlift is about 9 inches, so it's raised it up 3 inches or so, which is a massive difference. And yeah, we're going to see where my deadlift is at from that height on an axle, see what sort of numbers. We're going to aim for a comfortable heavy single today and sort of base the next few weeks of trainings programming off of that to hopefully peak for a really nice and heavy deadlift in the competition. So today is basically going to mess around with the setup, mess around with the pull, and just see what we can do on that deadlift. So I'm going to try and get it set up, and I will show you the setup once it is there, and then we will start working up through the weights and see how heavy we get. So with the axle set on some of my thick bumpers, we have it exactly at 12 inches to the center of the bar. So it's pretty much bang on where we need it. Now these bumpers are a little bit annoying just because they do like tend to sit in a rut on it, but I mean, it should be fine. We've had to put a collar just on the inside here because this axle is got a very slightly bent end, so the plates tend to get stuck on it. So you have to put a clip there to stop that happening. Also, the 5s are on the inside because the axle only weighs 60, not 60, it only weighs 10. So with bumpers, it makes it 60. But for my normal plate mass, adding 5s makes it 20 like a normal barbell and makes the whole thing 70, which is where I start warming up from and will know. Now, I've got a little line on here to tell me where the center is, but that is going to be our setup. So I am going to have some pre-workout, I'm going to get my gear on, then we're going to work up through the deadlifts on this setup, and I will tell you and show you when we start getting a bit heavier. So just on 170, move really easy. This height's always been a good one for me. Just going to keep going up a plate at a time, do 220 next, and then we'll try to do 270. I've done 270 for a triple before, so if we can get it for an easy single, I'll be really pleased. And then we'll figure out where we're going from there. So 220 up next, and I'll let you know how that feels. Again, really comfortable. This setup really suits my pulling style, so we're feeling good, we're feeling spicy. Upped it to 270 now, gonna lock in, gonna focus, hopefully make it move really well. Alright, so 270 moved for an absolute speed rep. It genuinely felt like super comfy. It felt like what 220 normally does. It felt really good. I love pulling from this height, so I am going to up the weight, and I want to match my deadlift PR from the floor on this elevated pull, which is 290, and that will put me in a massively good position to then build for over 300 on the day of competition, which should be absolutely massive. So let's send it, let's hope it moves easy, and then we can do some accessories. Well, I can't be unhappy with that. Even with a slight mishap on the setup with it rolling forwards, we managed to regain control and put in a really solid, comfy pull. With these pulls, they always look slow when they get heavy because you lose that spring you get off the floor with a normal deadlift. So you have to really push hard to get it to break the floor, and then you've just got to lock it out easy. And my lockout power is super, super good. So even though that looked a little bit slow and not as comfy as you might expect, it felt really comfy. It was never in question. It felt awesome. And I have absolutely no doubt that on competition day, we can go for 300 and beyond. Because honestly, I feel like I could have done 300 then if I had loaded it straight on. Obviously, we don't want to do that a month out from competition, but we know now that 290 was a super comfy single in a fatigued week after a competition, so we can really push it hard over the next few weeks leading up to the Haynes Farm Open and hopefully put up a pretty big meaty number. I've got the advantage here where an elevated pull like this really suits me compared to some people where they get a lot from the power off the floor and pulling from just below the knees is quite weak for some people. So for me, this is a really, really good deadlift height to go from. So I've sent the videos off to Loz. He will now assess and give me my block back. But what I'm going to do for the rest of this session is I'm going to do a bit of a pumpy, bodybuilder-y back workout. So we're going to start off with some T-bar rows, nice and easy, nice and light. Then just the usual, just back pumpy stuff. Will's here as well now. I'm going to be doing some back pumpy stuff with me, but I've only got one mic, so I'll just film myself for this video. He's just going to lurk off camera. But yeah, feeling really, really good about this deadlift. It moved much better than I thought I was going to do. I mean, my plan coming in today was to do 270 and leave it there, but it just moved so easy that I just had to up it and see if we could match that PB. And honestly, it felt like maybe an RPE 8 or 9. I definitely had one more in the locker, even though it does look slow. It feels really comfy. So really happy with that. Time to do some pumpy stuff. So we'll set up the T-bar rows and we'll get T-bar rowing. Right, guys, T-bar rows done, feeling pretty good. Now we're going to do the normal, as I said, lat pull downs. But after that, we're going to be doing single arm cable rows, which used to be something that were in my program a lot. They're really, really good, and they are pretty brutal with a nice lightweight. So going to get the lat pull downs and single arm cable rows done. We'll film a set of each of those for you guys. And then that is pretty much this session done. I've just got my block through from Loz for the next few weeks training, and it looks like it's going to be fun. We're going to be doing heavy log, we're going to be doing heavy axle deadlifts, and we're going to be doing dumbbell and axle, and we're going to be doing all of those things every week. So there'll be lots of fun videos coming up working on those pressing weaknesses and the deadlift strengths. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Obviously, if you're new here, go down below, click subscribe, stay tuned for all of that. But now it is time to get an almighty back pump and finish off today's session. So let's smash it. Right, that is where I'm going to leave it today for my back day. Really, really pleased with the progress, as I said, on the deadlift, and then just some nice accessories to get some blood flowing ahead of starting the full-on training block for the next competition, which is going to be brutal. It's going to be heavy, so if you're looking forward to seeing that as much as I am to doing it, go down below, click subscribe, and like this video if you enjoyed that really heavy axle deadlift, because there will be a lot more of those coming in the near future. But honestly, I'm feeling really good. I am feeling completely rested up after comp now, and I'm really excited to get back to it, starting Monday on the new block. So, as I said, make sure you stay tuned for that. I've been Toby. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.